no sign of him anywhere.
Classic.
Like, just disappears without a trace.
And then suddenly he says, "Oh shit," and then the line just goes dead.
The Sodders never accepted that explanation.
No body.
There was no remains at all.
Yeah.
Not even like charred up, anything.
Maybe they've missed it. There is a chance, but they really don't know. But they searched footage in nearby bars to see if he's gone into another place or passed by. Nothing.
Murder, cults, kidnapping.
Where the trail goes cold, we keep digging.
This is Dead Ends. Hello!
Hello! You beat me to it.
I thought I'd throw everyone off. Just
Hello. Welcome to Dead Ends Pod. This is our MINI006. We're also joined by Betty LeBou,
who will be making noises in the corner.
Yeah, she's got a licky day apparently.
Aww.
So any gross noises, that is her.
Yeah. A disclaimer.
Yeah. Or for those that are interested in listening to dog
noises, yeah.
ASMR, whatever it is.
Yeah, we can make a little CD of that if you want.
There you go.
Yeah.
Number 6. What did we do
last week?
time?
We did the Zodiac Killer.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I was trying to think about what it was earlier, and then my brain was like, I'm too busy right now. I can't think about this. I'll have to speak later.
And excitingly, this isn't confirmed.
Oh, yeah.
But we are now followed by the real Zodiac Killer on social media.
He's out there.
We haven't researched
He's
whether this
friend.
is the real one, but I'm pretty certain it is because it says it on his profile.
And he waved.
And he waved.
He gave us a little wave, didn't he?
And a little cowboy hat.
Nice.
Emoji guy.
Ah.
Which is great.
That is great.
I like cowboys and cowboy hats. So thank you.
Thank you for coming forward.
Yeah. And there we go. We've solved the case. We solved the Zodiac Killer.
We found out who he is.
Yeah, he's the Zodiac Killer.
He's on TikTok.
Yeah.
Ace.
Yeah.
That was a good episode though.
It was.
So interesting. So many twists and turns.
Yeah.
So much mail.
Yeah. It's crazy. I like anything where there's that sort of thing though, like just creepy ciphers and weird notes.
Yeah. The ciphers, that's what makes it really, is all the riddles and everything, isn't it?
Yeah. There was one comment from someone else on TikTok who let us know about a book that's come out.
Oh.
About a theory of the Zodiac Killer where the person who said they're a Zodiac and wrote all the notes is not necessarily the actual killer.
Oh, right.
And was just a person who wanted to be like famous.
Yeah, okay.
So that's another theory.
Maybe there's some stock in that.
Yeah. Is it just a fake?
See how it lines up.
Yeah.
I'll have to have a look at it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for those.
To our attention.
Yeah. Many good book reviews this week.
Many.
And recommendations.
Nice.
So thank you for all of those.
Yay. Well, this week for our shorter story, but not so shorter episode time mini, we're doing missing persons, aren't we?
Yes.
Where people just mysteriously vanished off the face of the earth into thin air with no trace, and we have no idea what happened to them.
Yeah. One of mine I do.
Oh, right. That person didn't. The rest of them did.
Yeah.
The rest of them were.
There was so many that were like very intriguing. One was, do you remember the Roanoke series of American Horror Story?
Is that guy, blonde guy? The cult one?
This is one where they're in like old time America, like the New England type.
I struggled keeping up with them.
Well, this one,
there was many.
The whole community goes missing.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
So I was like, oh, this is interesting, but maybe for another time. We'll have to do another disappearance one.
Okay.
There were loads.
Why is that real?
That's real, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. A whole community basically went missing from this island just off the coast of America.
It's not Jones's Town, right? No.
And it could, they just don't know what happened to them.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Creepy.
The whole, like, hundreds of them. And they went back and there was just no one
Didn't they do
there.
that in a magic trick? Maybe.
There's
There's a magician, I'm sure. It's in a movie. I don't think it's real at all.
And he disappears
I think he he does like a show where I'm going to make the audience disappear. And I think he basically like gasses them all, so puts them to sleep, moves all their bodies, and then they wake up and they're like, ta-da!
You're gone!
And they're all like, how?
That would be so trippy though.
They're all like covered in bruises. I'm sure it's a movie. It is a movie. But they're like going around with like foundation, like covering up the bruises where they've like dragged them out of the theatre. Let's find out what that is.
Because
it's like some comedy thing.
Darren Brown did that back in the
maybe that's what it's like based off of.
Yeah.
Probably taking the piss or something, but yeah.
He had a whole thing, didn't he, where he'd like, I guess basically kidnap someone and they'd wake up in like China.
It's really not okay, is it?
No.
I guess they probably signed waivers.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Do you want to go first or shall I go first? We've got two each, haven't we?
Yes.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Shall I go first with the one who didn't disappear?
Someone who was found.
So we'll get worse as the episode goes on. Worse, but better.
Okay. Worse, but better.
Yeah.
Okay.
This guy is called Danny Filippidis.
Nice.
I just love that name. That's why I was like...
say it again.
Filippidis.
Filippidis.
I hope I'm saying that right.
That should be like a text tone. Filippidis.
Filippidis. It's like a spell, really, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Go on.
It's pronounced Filippidae, not Filippidis. Okay, so Danny Filippidis. On 7th of February 2018, Danny Filippidis, a Toronto firefighter on a ski trip with friends at the Whiteface Mountain in upstate New York, set off on what should have been just an ordinary last run of the day. He was seen at the mountain's mid-station lodge in the afternoon, and then he vanished. And so this huge search begins with like police, federal authorities, the ski people. There was like the rangers, the mountain rangers. All these people, and they're searching everywhere, the woods, the slopes, all these little ravines, and there's just no sign of him anywhere.
Classic.
Like just disappears without a trace. There's no sign of struggle or like injury.
Nothing leading up to it or anything?
Nothing leading up to it. He is just gone. And so over the next 6 days, they just intensify the search. There's like 100 to 140 people every day searching. And it just obviously is looking more and more grim. They're like, well,
gross.
He's probably dead.
That's not good.
And so they just don't find him at all. But then on the 13th of February, so 7th of February goes missing.
Yep.
6 days, 13th of February, he was found alive in Sacramento, California. So he's gone missing in New York. And he shows up in Sacramento, 3,000 miles away. And he was just really confused. He was still wearing all his ski clothes.
He was confused. This isn't on purpose.
No.
Is this a magic trick? Did someone
this is
it
the thing.
Darren Brown?
It could be, yeah.
Did he kidnap him?
That's a theory. That's a new theory. The Darren Brown theory. But he was still wearing not just like ski jacket and goggles and stuff. He had the ski boots on. So, like, obviously, if you've ever walked in ski boots, it's a nightmare. Like,
found with the ski boots and
yeah, literally in California. I guess they have skiing there as well, but like,
right, okay.
I think of sun when I think California. Yeah,
right.
So he was confused, obviously, and he wasn't able to explain how he had crossed the country.
But, okay.
And so he had bought an iPhone with cash he had on him. And he'd called his wife, and this is how the search ended.
So, wait, has he just like woken up there?
He's just, I
don't understand.
Yeah. So
a week later,
he's woken up in California. So I guess.
Has he been unconscious the entire time?
We'll find out, yeah. I'll go for a little timeline.
Okay. I've got so many questions, but I'll
there are many, yeah.
I'll hold.
It could have been ghosts.
Okay.
It could have been aliens.
Darren Brown.
It could have been Darren Brown.
Go ahead.
So he was, just some background on him. He's not just like some crazy 20-year-old who, this happens on nights out all the time. You see stories of, I got really drunk and woke up in France.
Right, yeah.
So he's a firefighter. He's 49 years old.
Yep.
He's like, I think he's the fire captain, so he's pretty high up. And this is something they do every year. It's like an annual ski trip with all the fire team.
Sounds like a responsible guy.
Yeah, literally. And
who probably wouldn't get really pissed and wake up in France.
No, exactly,
cool. Okay.
And so everyone there knows him as well. And this is how they're kind of able to say he's gone missing so fast, because they just know he's the sort of guy who checks in,
The
reports.
character, yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely not in his character to just randomly.
Exactly. Yeah. And so before the disappearance, they're on their ski trip, 7th of February, the afternoon. So the last time he's seen is 2:30 p.m. And they're just in this mid-station lodge, I guess, like halfway up the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of a all right skier. He's not like tearing up the slopes, but he's not like awful. And at some point, he separates from the group, and there's some reports say he's going down to find his phone. He's just going back down the mountain.
Okay.
Just to go back. And so everyone's like, yeah, cool. He sets off on his way, and that is the last time he's seen. And so he doesn't check in. And so by 4:30, people are like, something's up.
Yeah.
And so they report it. Half an hour later, that's when the search begins. So it's literally
quite quick.
Yeah.
That's
within
good.
2 hours of him last being seen and heading down the mountain, he has been searched for.
Yeah. Okay.
And so obviously they don't find him for 6 days because he's in California having
there.
a great time. Yeah.
Don't know how he's got there, but yeah, okay.
Yeah. And so he can't fully put together what happened either.
He doesn't.
And he kind of guesses
What's the last bit he remembers?
Well,
does he say?
He kind of theorizes that he must have like had some sort of injury and found his way to a truck, like a trucker who's then driven him, and he somehow said,
no,
yeah,
that's insane.
And it is insane.
Does he have an injury?
Well, he must do, because he can't remember, so there must be some sort of like head.
Like, like a head.
Yeah.
Because I'm just wondering, like, if he's woken up and gone, yeah, actually, my arm is broken.
So let me just see. Hey, people. He was confused, unable to give direct answers when they found him. He was hospitalized.
All right.
And so early reporting, it stated that he believed he had suffered a head injury.
Okay.
Ridden a truck, slept a lot, so like some sort of concussion or something. Gotten a haircut.
Oh, so yeah, it sounds like properly concussed out of his head.
Because he's still going around doing stuff. He's not like passed out.
Yeah.
And then he buys this iPhone and calls his wife, who presumably was then like,
oh, that makes a lot of sense.
This is very
actually.
relieving.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But in the aftermath, when the police are trying to reconstruct it, they're calling the trucking companies who were in the area.
Mm.
And none of them
have said that
none of the drivers at least say they picked up a guy.
Maybe they don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's out of his mind a little bit, he might have just crawled in.
True.
Or like, what is it what people do with the trains, don't they?
Oh, where they just get in the cattle cart.
Yeah. Like, you don't know. We might have done.
It could have done. We don't really have cattle carts in the UK anymore. I wish we did for that reason.
Jumped on a Trans-Pennine Express.
Yeah.
Just clinging on top.
Well, you can't even get on the bus these days without an inspector coming on.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but if we had cattle carts, you could.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Bring them back.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. Go on.
So they try and verify, obviously, what he's saying, but literally, no one's getting really like this. Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah.
So I guess the theories are that they think he's gone down the hill.
Yeah.
He's ended up in this like ski school area, which was closed for the day. Mm-hmm. And that's why no one's seen him in the resort or in the mountain, because everyone's just gone from that area. That's where he's had his accident.
Right.
And he's been able to get to some sort of transport.
I mean, it seems pretty plausible.
Yeah.
That he could have just, like slipped, fallen.
Yeah.
Rolled out of like chaos kind of thing, whacked his head on a tree or something.
Yeah. And thought you were okay to continue, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it could have just been somewhere nearby to it or something, or, like after that or on his way back. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's options that he slipped somehow on this ski trip.
Yeah. The thing that worries me with this is that if he's gone in a car, presumably he's not walked 3,000 miles in 6 days unless he's like Superman.
No, definitely. Been in a truck, mate.
Well, someone must have at some point Either he's
him
hidden
unhurt
in
him.
this truck and just ended up in California,
Yeah.
or even like some person has taken this person in full ski kit
Yeah.
with his boots and just been like, oh yeah, this is legit. I'm going from New York to California, jump in. Because it's so, if he'd have made his
Do you
way
know
to
what?
like,
There are weirdos though.
mm,
There are weirdos that maybe wouldn't say too much or not think too much of it. Potentially, there could be weirdos that might have had other intentions. Like if his phone's missing, maybe I don't know. Maybe he did have it and he found it, and I don't know. Maybe other things got taken or got lost
true.
along the way. Don't know.
True.
Yeah. But that is weird.
Yeah, it's just like,
but I also kind of like feel like it's plausible because it's America.
Literally.
And I'm just kind of like, yeah.
And I guess
feel like that could
if
happen.
someone says, let's go, then yeah. Especially if it's like a more free living, skiing type person who's just up for an adventure.
Yeah.
And someone turns up and is like, let's go California. You might be like,
yeah,
sure.
Could be like a young person. Well, or it could just be someone didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
Don't know.
But the reason they know his shoes were still in the room where you change your shoes. And that's how they just know he's just...
He wasn't there kind of thing.
He wasn't there, yeah. He's just straight from the slopes gone off.
Sorry. Betty,
that was a big Betty
doing?
noise.
Anyway. Yeah, that is weird because I wonder if it's similar to, I mean, let's say the trucks they are different over there, but you know, obviously over here when you're driving along the motorway and on like, not on the hard shoulder, but like on a stopping, you can pull off a little bit on the motorway and park up.
Yeah.
Like some trucks park up overnight to sleep. And they leave the back doors open to prove nothing's in there so no one tries to rob them.
Right.
Have
if it's empty.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's nothing to say that someone, I don't know if that's the same thing over there. Maybe there was just an empty.
Yeah.
Like some of them do just go around with a door open.
Yeah.
To prove there's nothing in there so they don't get robbed. So maybe that could have been a option of climbing in. But yeah, that's weird.
It is weird.
But he's fine.
Yeah, he's just living his life.
All right, fair.
And I guess we'll never really know. But presumably he has got in some sort of...
It sounds like he's just had a mega concussion then.
Just been operating.
Well, yeah. I mean, it does happen.
Yeah.
It does happen.
I guess you can do more than you think, can't you, when you're semi-conscious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird. Especially with the sleeping and stuff. It all kind of really lines up.
Yeah. Yes.
That's a good one. I like that they found.
Yeah. He was just there. Could just call his wife like, I'm in California.
Oh, gosh. That's good.
Maybe he was just lying to his wife. And all along he's like, I'm going to sneak off in my ski gear.
I'll keep the ski gear close. Put it back on and pretend.
That I just
but I guess if he's been
here.
hospitalized.
Oh, true.
Then that does give it some like validity.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well,
there
you go.
Some people might go to.
I won't put it past some people.
So I did a little teaser on TikTok for this one. And his name is Brandon Swanson, and he is still missing. So a little rundown is just after midnight on the 14th of May, 2008, Brandon Swanson was driving home in rural Minnesota after celebrating the end of the semester with his friends. At some point, he veered off the road and ended up in a ditch, but he wasn't hurt. He gets out of his car. He can't drive it any further. He's stuck in a ditch. So he calls his parents for help, and he looks off in the distance and sees some lights, and he thinks, oh, that looks like a town. I think that's probably, he rationalizes in his head, he thinks, well, I think that's probably the town of Lind. So he's going, I'm going to set off and aim for that. I'm going to tell my parents. And they stay on the phone the entire time. He's ringing, he's walking along these dirt roads trying to head towards this town. But they can't find him because they're driving around. He can't really explain exactly where he is because it's pitch black and it's dirt roads and there's nothing around, just fields. 47 minutes he stays on the phone with his parents. And then suddenly he says, oh shit. And then the line just goes dead. And that's the last anyone's ever heard or seen from him. So Brandon Swanson was born the 30th of January 1987 in Minnesota. He's a 19-year-old college student at the time of his disappearance. He attended Minnesota West Community and Technical College. And it basically was the end of his spring semester. He was described as responsible, intelligent, very close with his parents. He had a steady social group, wasn't known for any like risky or reckless behavior. So he's just seems like a general average, nice guy, dependable, blah, blah, blah. On the night that he vanished, nothing about his actions really stood out as unusual. He'd just been celebrating the end of term with friends, which was pretty typical for a 19-year-old college student, really. He was familiar with like the general area, maybe not exactly with like the rural roads, but you know, he's from that area.
And his parents must have lived nearby.
Yeah, well, they just got in the car and headed out
straight
away to try and find him. He didn't have any like known mental health issues, reasons to disappear, and obviously, when we talk about theories, he reaches out immediately for help. So it's clearly not like he's just trying to like disappear. Like he's trying to find them and stuff. So if I do a timeline, so it's the evening of May the 13th, because I'm reading it American, the 13th of May, 2008. He's attended classes that day in college. And then that's the end of term. So he goes out to celebrate with his friends, and everyone says that when he's celebrating, it's, you know, when he's out, it's completely normal.
Yeah.
Nothing out of character. Midnight, he leaves, driving back towards Marshall, Minnesota. So this is along the dirt tracks, which, isn't completely unusual.
No, like I guess if you live in that sort of area, you just,
So shortly after midnight, this is where he drives off into the ditch. But he's not injured. The car is stuck. It's not going to get back out. So there's just nothing to do but to try and find a point to send his parents to, basically.
Yeah.
So he says that, I believe I'm near the town of Lind, which actually does turn out to be incorrect.
I know.
Yeah. So about 12:30, 11:15, parents are driving around. They cannot locate his car. They can't find him. He's like, right, I'm just going to stop. This is when he starts walking, basically, because he kind of stays by the car to begin with.
Yeah.
Thinking, I'll just stay here and see if they can find me. But I think I can see this town in front of me. So I think I'm about here. So then he's like, right, I'm going to start walking towards these lights. So he's on his phone call. He's describing, like, I'm walking along gravel roads. I'm crossing fields. He says he climbs over at least one fence. And he just says, there's lights in the distance. And they actually, when looking back, they were actually quite close.
Oh, to a town?
As in to each other.
Oh.
Like driving around. But they just never actually get to him.
Yeah.
And then it's 1:54 a.m. that he suddenly says, oh shit. And the call just immediately disconnects.
Yeah.
Which is really weird. His parents try calling him back, but there's no answer. So they contact the authorities.
Yeah.
So the following morning, the police locate his car in the ditch, but he's not there and there's no signs of what's happened. And the phone data confirms that he was actually miles away from where he thought he was, which explains why they couldn't find him. So the very last known moment with him, here's that phone call. That's it. So they start the investigation. They get police volunteers, search teams. They cover like massive ground aerial searches across Minnesota, as in rural Minnesota where he was. They got tracking dogs to follow his scent from his car through fields, roads. And that trail actually led to a river where it appears to enter the water, but then picks up on the other side and then disappears completely.
The river does?
The smell. The trail that the dogs are smelling.
Oh.
They track it into a river and then out the other side of the river, but then it just ends.
Oh, so he does get out the river.
So it's weird. Yeah.
Right.
They searched the waterways using boats, dive teams. Nothing. No belongings. Nothing. So the case is still ongoing at the minute. They've had numerous tips, but nothing. So theory-wise, they have a few. They think that potentially because it's gone into water, that maybe he's drowned. That maybe he's just like headed into the water, and that's why the phone's immediately disconnected.
I see.
Because it doesn't really make any sense if he's come across someone and say he's going, you would hear.
And you'd hear another person.
You would hear something else going on. Do you know what I mean? It wouldn't just go dead. So I feel like the water makes the most logical.
And it's, what year is it?
2008.
Oh, so it's like a flip phone or like a Nokia. It's not like a...
Yeah.
Because they weren't waterproof.
It's not that. Well, I mean, these aren't that. But but they definitely weren't. Yeah. But yeah, like that river, it's Yellow Medicine River, it's called. It's got like steep banks, mud, fast moving currents, especially like at night and stuff. And if he'd fallen in there, he would have been probably swept away quite easily. And the fact that the trail goes into that river, even if it comes back out, maybe he tried to climb back out and he's fallen back in.
Yeah,
I don't know, but yeah.
As if he's doing a river crossing in the night, like.
Well, he might have just fallen.
Oh, because
it's dark.
Yeah,
like it's dark and you can't see. So the other things were like maybe he's just gotten lost, and he's just because it's rural. I mean, how many bodies just go lost in like in a wooded area?
Oh yeah.
No one ever walks along that bit or whatever.
Yeah.
He could have just because he thought he was near a town.
He was nowhere near.
And he wasn't.
Yeah.
So he could have just sat down somewhere. Well, it did, but that doesn't make sense actually. With the oh shit.
Yeah, something has caused him to panic.
Hang up. So actually reading that back, I'm thinking actually that doesn't actually even fit, does it?
Something sudden, yeah.
The other one that was like sudden was because it's fields and it's farms. Maybe there's like a well.
Oh, and he's
or a draining ditch. It's called apparently.
Yeah,
like different machinery. Maybe he's fallen. I don't know, something like I don't know. Because my head was like, oh, maybe he's been shot by a farmer on site. You'd hear the bang, you'd hear the phone. So it's got to be something that's going to damage the phone as well.
Yeah, instantly.
So maybe a well. Like he's, shit, gone straight in.
Yeah.
That could work. But I feel like the most obvious thing is probably that he's gone into the river somehow. Or aliens.
Well, that's where my head's going.
With lights in the distance. What
aliens.
Is that?
It could be aliens.
Yeah, no, they suggested maybe they looked at the idea maybe there was foul play, but it just doesn't get support. And they also thought maybe he's deliberately disappeared, but there's just nothing in his character or anything in his life that would suggest that he would just want to leave.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, and he likes his family, like he's close with everything, and he's enjoying his social circles and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But there's been nothing that's come through in, even in 2026, it's still actively listed as missing. It's reviewed like regularly by investigators, but there's just nothing.
Yeah.
But one good thing that did, well, it's not a good thing, but one thing that did come out of it is you got the Brandon's Law.
Oh, what's that?
Basically, it was named after him because of his age, the police thought that perhaps he wasn't a missing person, that maybe he had left by choice.
Oh, I see.
So they weren't very urgent in taking it seriously and really properly searching the areas and stuff.
Oh, so were they a bit slow at the...
Yeah.
Right.
So the critical time was kind of like passing. Whereas his parents were like, no, we know our kid. So what if he's 19? He's definitely missing.
Yeah.
So that law is basically to treat missing people missing person cases seriously right away, regardless of age, and begin an investigation immediately without waiting periods. Yeah.
So even when they're searching the river, this is not like the next day.
No, it's time.
Right. Because that's the only thing I was like, he surely.
You would find something. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I think they've waited a bit because they're like, oh, I think he might have just see if he comes back kind of thing.
I wonder what animals, because he could have fallen in the river and then an animal's just like.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
But that law now is in place.
Right.
So any future families, when a child's gone missing or a person's gone missing, regardless of their age, the police have to act immediately. But that's Brandon Swanson. He's there's still
gone.
Absolutely no trace of what happened to him after that phone call. So no one.
That is mental.
There's nothing.
And look, there isn't many like predatory animals.
Yeah.
Because it's an agricultural area.
Yeah.
There's no mines. No. Because when you were like, well, I was like, oh, maybe he fell down a mine, which is just
farmland.
Yeah.
Nothing.
That is
crazy, isn't it?
Intriguing.
No one knows.
Yeah.
So they still have no clue.
So the river does sound most likely though.
Yeah.
If it's not like paranormal or aliens.
Which I'm gonna say is probably not.
Yeah.
I think it's the river.
Yeah.
But yeah, who knows where he is now.
This one, I've got a whole family
that have gone missing.
Yeah, well, half the family.
Okay.
And it's also got mafia links.
Okay, love it.
And like murdery, kidnapping. It covers a lot of grounds, this.
Nice.
So this is the Sodder Children disappearance.
Okay.
So on Christmas Eve, 1945, the Sodder family were at home in Fayetteville, West Virginia, doing ordinary family things you do on that night. Excited for presents, getting ready for Christmas, setting up like lights and food for Santa. Then, in the early hours of Christmas morning, a fire tore through the family home. George and Jeannie Sodder, who are the parents, along with 4 of their children, made it out alive. 5 others didn't.
Ooh.
So we think. They were never seen again.
Oh.
And so it's very confusing. It's a disappearance within a fire tragedy, and it was concluded officially that the children had died in the blaze.
Oh.
But the Sodders never accepted that explanation.
No body.
There was no remains at all.
Yeah.
Not even like charred up, anything. And the thing, like, there was bits of furniture still left, like things weren't completely burnt in the areas they'd
so there
been.
should have been.
So there should have been something,
remains,
yeah. And there was also all this like sabotagey type stuff and weird like goings on around the time of the fire that made it look kind of suspicious. There was a lot of like things that happened on that night that made it look really suspicious.
Yeah.
So who were the Sodders? Well, George Sodder was born in Sardinia, Italy, which is like a little
nice
islandy thing.
Yeah.
This is where the mafia connections come in.
Okay.
I think because he's Italian.
Yeah.
But basically, he's pre-anti-fascism.
Yep.
And so this is in the time that Mussolini is dictator of Italy.
Got you.
Hitler, all these crap guys doing crap things.
Yeah.
And so he's quite outspoken about
against it.
I hate Mussolini.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But the area where he lives in the United States, where he's moved with his wife, they are people there who are quite like pro-fascism.
Okay.
Again, before the war, during the war, after the war, there's loads of people who are still just, we love fascists. Idiots.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are people like that today. Idiots. So they had 10 children.
Wow.
Lot. Yeah. This is like cheaper by the dozen.
Damn.
But like
the
Italian version. So one son wasn't in the house that night. There were 4 children who survived, who were Marion, John, George Jr., and Sylvia. And then the 5 who vanished were Maurice, Martha, Louis, Jeannie, and Betty. And so their ages of the ones who disappeared were between 5 and 14.
Okay.
And so again, when we look at the evidence in a minute, that makes it look a bit like that doesn't quite add up what the police are giving us.
Yeah.
So timeline wise, before the event happened, before the fire, there was a stranger who came to the house looking for some like work. George owned this like business. Let me see what that business did, to be fair. They were hauling like dirt and freight and coal. So he's got like dump trucks and just moving general products.
Yeah.
And so this guy comes along asking for some hauling work. And he wanders to the back, points at the fuse box and warns that they would cause a fire.
Right, okay.
George thought it was odd because he'd recently had the wiring checked out in the house and been told that the wiring is safe.
Yeah.
And then there was another man who came trying to sell life insurance, and he's just getting really, really angry when George is like, no. And so like the later accounts, they tie this man to the fascist like sector of the community, and they're thinking that actually this man was just angry because of George's political views.
Right, okay.
So there was also a report before the fact that someone had been in a parked car watching the young children as they come home from school, the Sodder Children.
Oh.
So before the fact, we've got someone
creepy.
saying the fuse box is dangerous. This angry man.
I'm getting Luna Park vibes.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, true.
Callback.
Which was a cover-up.
Yeah, that was a bit mafia-y, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah. Australian mafia.
Right.
Somewhere on the line of good mafia. And so then on the day with Christmas Eve, so again, they're having a great time. Christmas just after the war is probably
the best Christmas Eve ever.
Especially in America where there's no like destruction of your entire cities and infrastructure. So just normal things. And then on that night, the telephone rings, the mum picks it up, and apparently it's a wrong number. Like she can hear laughing, Christmas noises in the background, but this person rings, wrong number, hangs up. And they did later look into that, but it seems they found the woman, and it seems that is just legitimately
just a wrong number.
A wrong number, yeah. So not long after that, they go to bed, and Jeannie, the wife, hears what she describes as a loud bang on the roof, followed by rolling noise.
Like Santa?
It could be.
Is that you?
It started out as the best night ever. Santa's here.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Yeah. And so later on, when they started looking at it as arson, the family are like, this is quite alarming, because at the time they didn't take it seriously, but they believed that actually that could have been some kind of like incendiary device to cause the fire. Someone's thrown up. And then half an hour later, that's at 12:30, there's smoke and fire.
Right.
And so they wake up, do everything they can, and they get 4 children out, 5 are still in there. So usually George has a ladder resting against the house. But on this night, the ladder wasn't there.
Oh.
No ladder. He hadn't moved it. None of the family had moved it. It'd just gone.
Right. So that's been taken. Yeah.
And so he also has these 2 trucks, like heavy plant type trucks, which he gets in to just put them against, climb up and get the kids out.
Yeah.
But neither of the trucks would start.
Oh,
they were there. They just wouldn't start. Yeah. And they'd both been driven that same day.
Right. So
working. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's bad.
There was also water, which they're like, okay, we can use the water to put the fire out.
Someone really didn't want them to survive.
The water was all frozen.
Right.
So that could be a natural cause.
That could just be, yeah.
Yeah.
But fair.
Everything just adds up. Like the ladder is moved.
Yeah. And the trucks.
The truck's not there.
Clear, yeah.
Yeah. And it's a small community. So back then, like the phone lines aren't the same. They couldn't get through to the fire department. So they have to just go via like community networks.
Yeah.
And it takes them quite a while. So they didn't arrive until 8 a.m. So the house is all completely burned down by then. Like
that's really bad.
Yeah. And it just because it's 1945, small town, voluntary force, not getting the message soon enough. And so when they arrived, the house is just ash. And officials believe the 5 children had died in the fire.
No.
But they just find nothing. Like,
Have they seen him leave then?
no,
The parents?
they've not seen the kids leave.
Did the parents see them during the fire?
No.
They were like on a different floor that they couldn't get to?
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
yeah, 'cause there's just so many of them, isn't there? Like,
Yeah, well,
And-
yeah, I guess so.
he's going back in, maybe like trying to get upstairs
You couldn't.
to get, and he just couldn't get up. And
So
obviously,
he's
like,
not even seen. So they could have been gone before.
yeah,
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I see.
yeah. And so they're officially given death certificates,
Mm.
and the cause of death is listed as fire suffocation.
You
But
see them all go to bed, like at evening.
yes, yeah. They've all gone to bed normally.
So it's in the course of sleep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so they sort of push this electrical explanation. We've heard that as well in Luna Park, haven't we?
Mm.
The electrical theory. But
Doesn't match.
it doesn't match because when the fire was on, the house lights were still working.
Oh.
And we saw this in Luna Park,
Yeah.
where actually they were like, if it was a fuse, the fuses would trip
Yeah, and
and the supply would go
we've
dark.
all been blown. Yeah.
But just like in Luna Park, lights are still on
Mm.
until like
yeah.
they're completely burnt.
Yeah.
And so obviously they're just really doubting this story.
Mm.
So later on, we're into 1946 looking into it. A telephone repairman reportedly told them the phone line had been cut,
No.
not burned through.
No. Oh God.
Yeah. The missing ladder was found away from the house down an embankment, and a man was later accused of stealing from the property. And they thought he might have like sabotaged the ladder, the trucks.
Mm.
But obviously he denies involvement in the fire. He just says, yeah, I went in and stole some sort of like machinery, some like bits and bobs
Right.
that he could just get his hands on. And so at this point, the parents are pretty like, they've been kidnapped.
Mm.
The kids have been kidnapped.
Yeah.
The FBI get involved, and they don't really do much though.
Yeah.
So again, the family are like, nothing's really happening. The investigation's just
down?
been stopped. Yeah. And so later on, there was like a box they had, which was said to contain an internal organ they found in the fire.
All right.
I think it was a liver. Yes, but the local funeral director looked at it and he said, that's a cow liver. So they got this box and they said, yeah, this is the proof.
They tried to Snow White it.
Yeah, they did. Literally. Yeah. And so the rumors suggest that actually this has been planted by the emergency services to try and account for that. Yeah. There's no proof of that. But
My gosh.
as well, like if the bones are burnt so badly, there's nothing left of them.
Yeah.
Why would
Why
the
is there a
liver, not cooked or anything? It's just like, here's an organ. Yeah. And again, they bring up like more evidence. They bring up this a bone, so a vertebrae.
Mm.
But when they examine it, the kids who died or went missing are 5 to 14.
Mm-hmm.
This is the bone of someone between 16 and 22.
Right.
So it's like, and also it's just, again, there's no signs of burn on the bone. So they're just bringing like bits.
Yeah.
Like if the rest of the body's completely gone, why would one bit of bone just be like scotch free? And so it just continues. Like there are people who say they see them, obviously. You know, they get like photos in the mail and people are saying this is them when they're older type thing, but just nothing since then has ever accounted for what happened to them. The parents just continue to look, but just no explanation. So they do believe they've survived. They have like billboards and stuff, which apparently just become like a landmark that everyone just, there's the missing kid billboard. But the theories, so theory wise, either the children died in the fire.
Doesn't seem that plausible though, does it?
No. And so it seems likely the children left.
Were kidnapped.
And so then when we're looking at the fire, it was highly likely the fire has been arson.
Yeah.
Especially with
I think
all
it's
that going
definitely,
wrong.
I think it's definitely with the cut wire and the ladders and yeah.
And so then it's like, why kidnap the children? Why 5 children? Like, And then
if they're being watched as well. They thought they'd been watched from school. Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously there's the mafia theories that it's because of his political views or something he's done, but it just doesn't clock because he's not some sort of like criminal construction boss. He's not like that sort of guy. He's just a guy who disagrees with politics, and this is after Mussolini's dead.
This is interesting.
Like, he's already died.
Maybe it's like a child ring or something. I mean, look at what's happening at the minute with all the Epstein stuff and how they're like, oh, well, we think also he's got this like child ring, sex ring going on as well. I mean, obviously he does all that, but you know, like with like the allegations now that Madeleine McCann was maybe taken by him and all this.
Yeah. Which seems very likely.
Well, yeah, but maybe it could be a similar, like, I feel like when I think of the mafia, I feel like this, like kidnapping kids and putting them into some kind of child trafficking could be within their jurisdiction. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I feel like I wouldn't be surprised to hear that they also did that. And
the younger the kids, I guess the easier they are to shape into what you want them to be. Like,
or whatever.
Yeah. So it could be. I mean,
is weird though.
It is, yeah. And again, like, they've gone to bed, yes, but I think that something's happened, and it's likely that actually before the fire's even started,
that they've been
those kids are already gone. Yeah. Because during a fire, you just wouldn't.
No. You wouldn't risk. It'd be too difficult to extract.
Yeah, and the parents would see, or someone would see.
Yeah, you'd see people leaving the house outside or running away or driving away.
Screaming, yeah. So they just don't know, though. Those kids...
No clue.
Could be... Well, they could still be alive.
Yeah.
Or have lived, or...
Who knows?
Oh,
that's sad.
Yeah. We'll never know.
That's good, though. That's a good case that you found.
5 of them.
Yeah. That's how did you find that one? What led you to it?
I just was searching for the weirdest ones.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Classic Pete.
All of the thing about Disappearance case, I wanted like some with like paranormally type things.
Yeah.
But
this is good though.
Yeah. Yeah, this is why I landed on. It's got more to it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them, it's like there's a normal explanations, and then people just tack on, it could have been ghosts or aliens, and I'm like, it could have been, but the evidence suggests that someone's just taking these kids. And with Danny
like
in the last one, like, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Could have been aliens, but probably just fell in the river.
Yeah.
Oh,
someone commented about this Occam's razor this week, that actually the easiest answer is usually
the right one.
The right answer.
Yeah. Whatever makes the most sense. That's it, because what is it? There was something, I'm not sure where I heard it actually. It's probably been said, and quite a few detectives have said it. But you don't make the case fit the narrative.
Yes. You just follow the evidence.
Wait, have I said that the wrong way around? Basically, you don't mend what evidence you have to fit.
Yeah.
I can't remember the way to do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't force it, basically. You don't
peg,
force
square
things.
holes.
Yeah. It either fits or it doesn't fit.
Yeah.
Like, don't bend stuff to make it fit so that you have like a...
Just follow the facts.
Yeah.
And they'll tell you, there was no evidence of bodies. The kids weren't in the fire.
Exactly. So there you go.
They weren't screaming. They were probably already gone.
Exactly. So there you go.
Probably never find them.
No.
Well, now
they won't.
Yeah.
No.
By now they won't even know probably that they were
gone forever.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a good one.
So what's
my last one?
The last one, yes.
This is the disappearance of Brian. I'm not sure how you say his last name. It's either Shaffer or Schiffer. I'm just going to say Shaffer.
Shaffer. Brian.
Yeah, Brian. Brian. Dumbledore. That's what I think of. Albus. Brian. Yeah. Okay, so this is a strange one. This is basically it's another student actually in Ohio this time, and he's seen going into a bar one night with a friend, and it's on CCTV that he goes into the bar, but there's never any footage of him leaving the bar, and he just vanishes.
Yes.
This night, like we don't know how he's disappeared. You see him go in, you never see him come out, but he's gone.
Yeah.
It's weird. So Brian was born on the 11th of February 1979 in Ohio. He was 27 when he left. Sorry, he wasn't a student anymore. Well, he kind of was. He'd gone to uni and he'd done microbiology. He'd graduated as that. But then he was a medical student.
Ah, so they're in uni for like a million years.
Yeah. At the Ohio State University, basically.
Right.
Yeah. So he was and he wasn't, I think, basically.
Yeah.
Anyway, social guy, well liked, played the guitar, a bit musically inclined. Yeah. He wanted to start a band, actually. Inspired by Jimmy Buffett.
Oh.
Don't know who that is.
Nor do I.
But there you go.
Yeah.
He was dating a woman called Alexis Wagner, and they were planning a trip just very, very shortly after this event. It was due to take place to Miami.
Right. Oh, nice.
Possibly to propose, it says.
Oh.
We're not sure. He was struggling at the time a little bit. He was coping, but his mother had just died from cancer in the March. And he disappeared at the end of March. So it's a month. Let's start. She died. Right. He disappears at the end. So that's still not a long time, is it?
No.
To be dealing with quite a
big loss.
Yeah. So it's the 31st of March, 2006. Again, he's celebrating spring break. It's the end of semester for his medical student stuff. And he goes for an early dinner with his father, Randy Shaffer. Shaffer, whichever. His father kind of comments that he seems tired from all the work that he's been doing, but he seems in good spirits. He's kind of against him going out in the evening because I think he's just doing that parent thing of like, you're tired, go home, son, kind of thing. But anyway, he doesn't really say anything and he wants to go out. So then Brian heads out about 9 p.m. to go meet a friend called Clint Florence. And this is the best place. Goes to a bar called Ugly Tuna Saloona.
Ugly Tuna Saloona?
Yeah.
That's well good.
Yeah.
We'll have to go there. Well.
In Ohio.
Maybe. Maybe we'll disappear.
So that's where the night starts between them. Between 10 and midnight, they go like bar hopping.
Okay.
They go to loads of different bars.
So Tuna Saloona's safe?
Well, no.
Oh, no.
No. Ugly Tuna Saloon is where they begin. And then they go off, and then it's basically with his friend Clint, and they're having like quite hard liquor shots at every single place they go to. He calls his girlfriend, checks in with her. And then just after midnight, they go and meet their friend called Meredith Reed, who's a friend of Clint. And she drives them back to Ugly Tuna Saloon.
Right.
So they end up back there for like their final servings kind of thing.
No.
Yeah. So then at 1:15 a.m., CCTV shows Brian, Clint, and Meredith entering the bar via the escalators. They've got escalators going into the bar.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
It's high tech.
And then the last confirmed sighting. So 1:55 a.m., security footage from outside the second floor entrance records Brian briefly speaking to two women before walking out of frame towards the bar. That's it. No one sees, there's no CCTV of him. And all the exits are pretty well covered. There's maybe one or two that are a little bit like less covered, but then they kind of roll onto other bars like nearby, and he's not in any of their footage.
Right. Oh, so you would be captured by next door's
You would
camera.
think, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. He's really like, yeah. But that's basically the last confirmed sighting at 1:55. And then at 2 a.m., which is closing time of the bar, Clint and Meredith are like, they can't find him. They wait outside. They try ringing him quite a few times. He's not answered. So they just presume that he's like left without telling them.
Yeah, he's gone on an adventure.
So they just go. And then the next few days, his family are calling him. His girlfriend's calling him. He's not responding. Doesn't board the Miami flight. And so they think, okay, he's probably missing. And so then they report it.
Oh, no.
So it's been a bit of time.
Oh.
Yeah. Police investigated at the bar, like the CCTV footage, but there's just nothing. They do say that maybe he's changed clothes or worn a hat, kept his head down, maybe he snuck past. But
That with his hands over his face.
yeah.
Yeah.
But one of the detectives are like, no, I've looked through all of that footage and
Right.
not.
And they've looked for that sort of person.
Maybe they've missed it. There is a chance, but they really don't know. But they searched footage in nearby bars to see if he's gone into another place or passed by. Nothing. They like distribute loads of flyers that like have his picture on showing, because he has a tattoo on like his upper right arm, and it's like a stick figure logo from the cover of a Pearl Jam album. And also he has like a distinctive fleck in one of his eyes, like one of his irises. So they were all, but no one's seen him. Police persuaded the city of Columbus to let them into the sewer system and search there. Nothing is seen there. So this goes on for a while. Like they've just nothing. They've exhausted their opportunities. The girlfriend, who's obviously devastated, rings his phone every night before going to bed, like for quite some time. Like I feel like it's like, it doesn't actually say. Oh yeah, so September, so a few months.
Right.
She's ringing it every night. And it usually just goes straight to voicemail. But then in September 2006, so a few months later, it rings 3 times. And nothing. But it just rings differently. And she's like, oh, maybe it's a glitch or something. It does say that there was a ping from the phone at the same time.
Oh, really?
On a cell tower northwest of Columbus. But they just said it's probably just a computer glitch. So I don't know. Pearl Jam also picked up the case, the band.
Yeah.
And at one of their shows, like later on in the year, like around September, October kind of thing. And they asked the public to help as well. It doesn't really help, but so that's quite nice.
Yeah.
So they capture them entering the bar. No footage shows them leaving. The main entrance is covered by cameras. There's like a service construction exit that leads out to a hallway and outside access, which is slightly a blind spot, poorly monitored.
Okay.
But you probably would have there should have been some footage or something nearby, but there's just nothing. They've like searched streets, dumpsters, the sewer, used dogs, nothing. His car's still at home. His apartment's undisturbed. There's no financial digital activity after he's disappeared. So they start looking at like, who's he with? So they look at Clint, the friend. And he's helpful to begin with, but then he stops. He's like refuses to do any more poly tests and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
Which seems suspicious. Well, it seems suspicious. But when I looked into like why, they just thought, right, well, it's probably just because like lawyers advise you to not do it because like, obviously polygraphs are like not very.
Yeah.
And if they're inconclusive or whatever, it can look bad on you.
Yeah.
Even. So they think that it's probably that, or that he like started feeling like pressure and scrutiny and stuff like that, or like just trying to protect his like personal privacy because you're just dragging it up just because he's the last person.
I guess the case is getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Pearl Jam are now investigating.
But the police, like, there's no evidence. There's nothing that links him to it at all. There's no like contradiction in the timeline where he was, where they were.
Presumably they've seen him go out and leave.
Yeah, and there's
camera.
like nothing on the camera of like them having a conflict.
And,
and they've never named him a suspect, so I think he's in the clear. But it was a big point on like a few of the places I was looking at. They were like, oh, it's weird, but actually I think it's just nothing.
Yeah, because if he's just left,
yeah,
either he's done something in the bar to him,
Yeah.
And someone else would have
well,
noticed.
Something would have been seen, something. Yeah.
Yeah. Or he's innocent.
Yeah, exactly. So
Didn't have him in his pocket. Or, yeah.
I think it's just nothing.
Yeah. Well, what could have happened?
So they're looking to Meredith as well. She fully cooperates. She's fine. They ask the women that they see him and talking to outside. Nothing unusual. They're fine. They thought maybe something could have happened like after he's left, but again, we've not seen any footage of him leaving. So when's he left, kind of thing?
Yes.
So the main theory is that they think that he's like somehow snuck out, like disguised.
Purposefully.
Yes.
To start his life
well,
again.
Yeah. They still don't really understand. Well, there's just it's all theories.
Yeah.
There's nothing. So they presume that either like he's gone out, he's somehow gotten out, and they've not seen it, like it's been in a blind spot, and he's like got maybe like robbed, murdered, something like that, vanished. There's also like he's voluntarily disappeared.
Yeah.
Which I lean more to.
Yes.
Just because, well, his mum's just died and stuff. And I don't know. And it just seems, I don't know. Well, there's something else that happens basically. Let me find where it was. Because they were saying, there's another thing that perhaps there was, he was murdered by the smiley face killer.
Oh, nice.
He was not a confirmed real serial killer. It was just a theory by two detectives because some college-aged men were found dead in rivers and lakes, and nearby there'd be a graffiti of a smiley face.
Oh, really?
But they were like, we don't actually believe this to be a real thing because the smiley face graffiti is so common.
It could be anywhere.
And yeah. Yeah.
There's a series called The Mentalist where there's a killer called Red John who leaves a smiley face.
Right. Yeah. But they were like, oh, maybe it's like 18 to 13-year-olds who are leaving bars at night and they're drowned. But they're like, we really don't think this is a thing. And we've got no actual evidence of one person being this. It was just a theory.
To get the body out of the bar, if it's a dead body, that would be harder than someone just sneaking out on their own.
And also, well, how have you got them? Like, even if they're not dead in the bar and you've coerced them out, you'd still be seen on the well, unless it's someone who works there or something. Maybe
they've hidden them.
Maybe
he's become the tuna.
He's become the tuna,
and they're feeding him to people. What does it say? What he was talking to those women about?
No, it was just a natural conversation.
Does he know them or?
No, they were just natural, and it was just the police investigated them, and it all came out really fine. They weren't chatting about anything.
Because if he's about to propose to his,
I think it was nothing.
It's not anything like that.
No. I think it's just chatting at a bar.
Right.
It's just chatting and then walking on, kind of thing, like, oh, how's your night, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's just that.
Because that's. Would he want to?
And he was with Clint.
Yes. So he would have.
Yeah.
What? Because that's the. If he's gone away, why has he wanted to leave his life? Like, what's the motivation?
I'm not sure. But the only things that point to it. So there's nothing that like has been brought forward since. There was a podcast this year. Apparently, it doesn't say what podcast it was, which is helpful. But it says, "Oh, we've got a new potential tip," but it's not been verified. So there's nothing. In 2021, there was one of those age progress images released of what you might look like at 42. Nothing.
Same but older.
But they think basically the main theory is that he's left likely through an unmonitored exit, encountered something shortly after. That's what the police think. And it's an accidental death.
Oh, so he has died.
They don't know. That's just their main theory. His dad, Randy, continued searching for his son on his own.
Oh.
Yeah. Went to a psychic who said his body's in the water near Bridge Pier.
Right.
So he and Brian's younger brother, Derek, and some other citizens who were watching the case started looking through all the bodies of water to try and find They don't find anything. But this is where they like lead the police to like, oh, maybe it's the smiley face killer, which they reject, obviously.
Yes.
So blah, blah, blah. His dad's looking. This is so sad. Right. In September 2008, during a heavy windstorm, his dad was clearing debris in his yard at his house, and a branch blew off and fatally killed him.
So, fucking hell.
Yeah. So his neighbours found his body the following day, called the police. After his obituary ran online, a condolence book was posted, and one of the signatures in it online said, "To Dad, love, Brian," and it was from US Virgin Islands.
Right.
So they were like, maybe he's left. Some investigators were like, it's a hoax. Don't believe it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I'm just saying. But they were like, oh, maybe he's left with a hat, or he's kept his head down. Maybe you wouldn't see. One of them was like, oh, no, I've watched all of that footage of the escalators. I'm adamant he's not come down it. There's another door. He might have.
The back door, I'd go out. Yeah, I wouldn't go out.
And he might have
door.
kept his head down. So in the other footage, you can't see a guy's face walking by, and you wouldn't know. Or maybe he's left in a group.
Yes.
Or something like that.
Yeah. I feel like he's
who
still
knows?
alive.
We really don't. Well, it does look like, yeah. It's sad about his dad, though.
It is sad. If that is a
savage.
hoax as well, the signing, that's even sadder. Whoever did that is a dick.
Because, I mean, well, yeah.
Well, he's dead, I guess, so
Yeah.
he's not going to be sad about it, but
Yeah.
still.
But still.
Yeah.
So that's Brian. Yeah, not a clue.
Yeah.
Just weird, though.
It is weird because, again, if his life was really unhappy,
Yeah.
I'd be like, he's definitely alive, just
Yeah.
moved on.
Yeah.
But why would he leave his whole life?
His girlfriend and all this stuff.
His dad after his
Maybe he was
mum's
just like done with it all. And he's
died.
tired and
Yeah.
what have I done? I don't know.
Maybe he accidentally killed someone in med school and like a patient and
Plot
was like,
twist.
crap, I need to.
Not a clue. But
Yeah.
none of it really adds up in this one.
No.
To point in any, it kind of points in any direction. I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is,
both ways.
yeah.
So there you go. That's Brian.
That is very mysterious.
Shaffer.
That's the best one. Because I have no idea.
No.
Not even any theories.
No.
Tuna Saluna.
Yeah. Ugly tuna saluna.
He's turned into a tuna and been eaten.
Oh, God.
That's my theory.
Who knows?
But they still have to get rid of the body.
There's just
The
nothing.
bones. Yeah. Mm.
So there you go.
Well, yeah.
That's our missing persons.
Mini missing people. Yeah. There are so many good ones. We'll have to do more missing.
There's more.
Yeah.
There's so many more.
Because there's even like Amelia Earhart I was thinking of for this one.
Do you know what? When you were talking about the bones missing and stuff like that, I was thinking of the Romanovs, the Russian royal family, because they all got shot at the end of the revolution.
Yeah.
But bones were missing. Everyone's like, oh, I'm pretty sure this is where Anastasia,
Yeah,
the movie,
I was going to
comes
say
from.
that, yeah.
And the little brother Alexei, they think got away.
Yeah.
And there's a book, I think I've got it actually, of some guy that's like, I'm Alexei and I'm living out here kind of thing.
Right.
Which you don't know, do you?
No.
Yeah.
It
Whatever.
could be.
But it's a good read.
And Anastasia is a good movie.
It is a good movie.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
We'll have to do some more.
Yeah.
We'll do little snippets here and there.
Yeah. Sadly, there are
Maybe
many,
our little
many
short
missing.
TikToks could be them.
Oh yeah, missing people.
Some more following on.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, there you go.
We solved nothing on this one. Oh wait, we solved this Sodder Children. They've been kidnapped.
Yeah, they've been kidnapped. Not sure where they've gone, but we can confirm they've been kidnapped.
Danny Filippidis just had a great
week
name. Out. Yeah, great name, great week out.
That was a funny one. That is a good one.
6 days later, hi, I'm in California. Skiing's great here.
Oh my gosh.
And then we had Brandon. He's in the river. We solved that one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We solved that one. Or in a well.
Yeah.
River well. Water. He's in water somewhere.
And the last one, if you've ever been to the Ugly Tuna Saluna,
Tell us.
Highly likely you've eaten.
Oh no. Savage ending.
I'm sure you haven't. That would be too much.
Yeah.
That would be like a film rather than a real.
Nah, he's in the US somewhere.
Yeah.
Living a different life.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Weird. So weird.
Yeah.
So
keep on them. See if there's any updates.
Yes. Oh.
Do
we have any anything we need to say?
Don't think so.
Nice.
Just keep listening. Thanks so much for all the comments. Thank you so much for sticking with us.
Keep comment. We do. I enjoy the comments.
Yeah, I enjoy you sending me the comments. They're fun.
Yeah, and we like replying to them.
Mm-hmm.
We're up for any comment, even if you want to make fun. Like,
we love it.
If you make fun, we will make fun back.
Yeah, that is true.
So just keep that in mind. But we're happy for you to do that. Obviously, in a friendly, banterous way.
Absolutely.
There's no bad feelings.
No.
And my moral of this episode is, if you get broken down in the roadside and it's the night, don't go off-road.
No.
Just don't go off-road.
No.
Like,
just stay with your car.
Stay with your car. If that's not safe, stay somewhere safe
we'll
on the road.
We'll just stay where we are, then go back to the car. Right. I don't want to be any worry. Little Rocky Horror Picture Show quote there for you.
Rocky.
And on that bombshell.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. And we'll see you for our main. Not sure what we're doing yet.
No.
Our main. In 2 weeks' time.
This is something juicy.
So have a great 2 weeks. And when does this one come out? Easter
this one
Monday.
Comes out on Monday. Oh, yeah. Bank holiday Monday.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Happy good times.
That's a band, Happy Monday.
And goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.